before we get started. Come on in, come on in. And we got a difficult topic today. We have a sensitive topic today, but it is what it is. Come on in, family. Come on in. Man, on behalf of my mother-in-law, man, I bless each and every one of you that catch this on the live. Man, for those of you that catch this on the replay, man, I bless you as well. Just announcements right off the bat as I'm waiting for you guys to come in. Man, it's January, so we're still doing the free coaching and mentoring sessions. If you're depressed, you're going through a funk, you're in a dark place, and you need somebody to talk to, man, send me an email at ElijahAmmi@gmail.com, and we'll get you set up with a free coaching session, a free mentoring session. No cost at all. What's up with you, Clash? I think that's how you pronounce it. If you want a reading, man, just contact me for that as well. Dennis, what's up with you, family? For those of you that are part of the men's group, we started a men's session, men only, and we titled it Home, Healing Our Men Emotionally. We meet on Saturdays at 3:30. If you'd like to be part of that as a man, just shoot me an email again at ElijahAmmi.com. Excuse me, ElijahAmmi@gmail.com. And I'll shoot you the link for that Zoom meeting as well. Family, we're going to go ahead and get started. Toxicity, the new normal. Man, it's crazy how toxic this world has become. It's crazy how toxic people have become. You know what I mean? And we're so convinced that we're so woke. You know what I mean? We're so convinced that we live in this woke generation, and nothing can be further from the truth. Nothing can be further from the truth. That's an ego trap that has us stuck. You know what I mean? I posted a video yesterday on Facebook, and somebody sent it to me as a TikTok video, and it shows a young lady cussing a guy out and just walking up on this dude and slapping a dog shit out of him. And then he immediately punched her, and she went flying across the room and fell on the floor, right? Took her a few seconds to get herself together. She got up, you know, and was stood at the bar. Didn't say shit else to the dude. And the video ended. And I posted that because I wanted to see the interactions. I posted that because I wanted to hear what people was going to say. You know what I mean? And I normally don't post stuff of that nature because I know how divisive it is, because it's only divisive to people that's stuck on stupid, to people that's toxic as fuck. You know what I mean? Stay with me, we're going somewhere. And so some people were like, oh, that's not right, and he should have never hit her, and guys should never hit a woman, da-da-da-da-da. And they completely missed the fact that this woman cussed this dude out. They completely ignored the fact that this woman was toxic as fuck. I'm not justifying any man putting his hands on a woman. That's not what this video is about. But you can't overlook, you can't dismiss the toxic level of so many other people who then play fucking victim. They want to be the victim after they got the shit knocked out of them. They want to be the victim after they got the shit stomped out of them. You know what I mean? This young lady, and I don't know how the video started. It just shows her, this young lady turning to this dude, cussing him out and walking up to him like she's Billy Badass. She threw her hands back like this, like what? And cussed him out and slapped the shit out of him before he put hands on her. That's toxic as fuck. It's toxic as fuck for anybody to be cussing anybody out like that. It's toxic as fuck for anybody to put hands on somebody else like she did to him. But we miss that in this cancel fucking culture that we live in this toxic ass fucking culture we live in. We want to blast the dude for being overbearing. We want to blast the dude for being abusive and da-da-da-da-da, and he shouldn't have hit her and da-da-da-da. Fuck the bullshit. She should have never cussed his ass out. Fuck the bullshit. She should have never walked up on that motherfucker. She knew he was bigger than her. She knew he was stronger than her. She should have never walked up on his ass and slapped him. And see, in our society today, because we got this social media shit, motherfuckers are so used to hiding behind social media and being badasses. Motherfuckers so used to getting on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and talking big bad shit. Knowing they can't fucking fight, talking all this shit and bullying motherfuckers. And then when they get pressed about it in person, now they want to change the fucking story. Now they want to talk about you bullying me and that. Oh no, you was Billy Badass when you was on social media. You was talking about what you was gonna do to me when you was on social media, when you was hiding behind your fucking phone, when you was hiding behind your fucking tablet. Let's see what you can do with these fucking hands now. Oh, I know you a fucking typing warrior. You know what I mean? You could type the fuck out some shit, but let's see if you could fight. Let's see if you could put them hands up and defend yourself. Because I'm about to knock the fuck out of you. We live in a toxic ass fucking culture, and it's the new norm. It's the norm. Where motherfuckers could say something to somebody, disrespect somebody, tear somebody down. And then when somebody checked them on they shit, when somebody grabbed them and pinned they fucking ass up, now they want to scream victim. Now they want to scream and act like you bullying them, like you assaulting them. We completely dismiss the fact that this lady assaulted this guy. And for those of us that say, you know, we're working on our issues, for those of us that say that, man, we're working on our spirituality, we're growing and developing emotionally, man, how can we dismiss abuse? Abuse is abuse. I don't give a fuck who starts it. Abuse is abuse. I don't give a fuck where it comes from. It's always the little short motherfuckers that can't fight, that got this short man fucking complex, that want to be Billy Badass, trying to prove some shit. If you can't fight, shut the fuck up. If you can't fight, keep your motherfucking hands to your goddamn self. If you can't fight, don't be out in public getting drunk and talking and wilding the fuck out. And on top of the post I put, this is what so many of us do. This is what y'all do until God knocks some sense into you. See, this is what we do as society. I remember growing up, I was mad as hell at God. We're talking about toxicity, the new normal. I was mad as hell at God. I was so mad at God because of all the shit that I went through. I was so toxic, so angry. And some of us, we're so damn toxic, we don't even realize how toxic we are because it's normal for us. It's normal for us to have a short man complex. It's normal for us to be angry. It's normal for us to have low self-esteem. It's normal for us to be hating. It's normal for us to be so full of jealousy and rage and bitterness and animosity because we grew up like that. And so we don't see it as being toxic because we've been that way our whole fucking life. We've been jealous of our fucking siblings. We've been jealous of our next door neighbors. And so it's not abnormal to us. We've always been like that. And so we don't understand when people say, man, I can't fuck with you. I can't be around you. Man, your energy is fucked up. Your frequency is off. And when people tell you your frequency is off, when people tell you your energy is off, you're like, no, it's not. I'm always like this. I'm good. No, you're fucking used to it. You're used to the fucking toxicity. You're used to the negativity. Because you've been like that your whole fucking life. You don't know any other way to be. You're a functioning alcoholic. You're a functioning drug addict. Just because you get up and go to job and go to your work on time, don't mean that you don't have a drug problem. Just because you get up and go to work on time and function on your job, don't mean you don't have an alcohol problem. It just means you're a functioning alcoholic. And so many of us, we are functioning toxic as individuals because we've been this way our whole fucking life. And now, because we're in this fucking woke generation, now I'm woke, I'm enlightened, and and I'm on a good vibration, and I got good energy. And it's like, no, the fuck you don't. You can't even spell good energy. There's nothing about you that's positive. Everything out your mouth is, oh man, this is gonna happen, and what if this is happening, and what if this happens? And you're so fucking fearful. You're so fucking angry. You're so fucking bitter. You're so full of worry. You're so full of doubt. That's all toxic, family. That's all toxic. There's nothing enlightened. There's nothing positive about being full of worry, full of doubt. That's not high energy. That's not high vibrational frequency. When you're constantly worried that the bottom is going to fall off. When you're constantly thinking, man, the worst, man, let me prepare for the worst. Yeah, I hope the best happens, but I'm preparing for the worst. And with all this toxic, negative shit. There's nothing positive about that. There's nothing high vibrational about that. The problem is, we don't realize how toxic we are. Because what we do is, we're so used to Jerry Springer shows and Maury Povich and all these other ratchet ass fucking programs on TV. And we see all these people, these ratchet ass motherfuckers on TV talking about all their family business and just all this trampy shit. We see these motherfuckers on TV and we think, well, I'm not like them. Well, and because I'm not like them, I can't be ratchet. Because I'm not like them, man, that's low frequency and I'm better than that. And we think that we're better than what we really are because we're comparing ourselves to trashy ass motherfuckers. And so we think that's low frequency. We think that's vibrating at a low level. And it is. But you're also vibrating at a low level. You're just a couple notches higher than they are. But you think you're so much higher than them. Because you're not blasting all your daddy's business on fucking social media. Because you're not having sex with all these guys and accusing one guy of having your baby being the baby daddy. And you not knowing who the fucking baby daddy is. It's like 15 motherfuckers and you can't pick one. So we love watching these ratchet ass shows. We love watching these fucking reality shows of these women getting on TV and bashing dudes. Why? Because we're toxic as fuck. We love watching Dirty Housewives of Atlanta and all these other fucking housewife shows and all this other ratchet ass shit. We love that shit. We consume that shit. Why? Because we're ratchet and we're toxic as fuck. Because we're toxic. If you wasn't toxic, you wouldn't want to be around that shit. You wouldn't even want to be entertained by that. That shit's not entertaining to you when you're not on that fucking level. That shit disgusts you. You don't have time for the negativity. You don't have time for the bullshit. You don't have time for the fucking games. Nothing that they're talking about is helping you grow and develop and reach your fucking full potential. Nothing that they're talking about is showing you how to resolve your fucking issues. It's helping you resolve your fucking issues. Because you're toxic, you see one of the people on the show that reminds you of who you are. And it's like, oh yeah, tell him, girl, cuss his motherfucking ass out. That motherfucker ain't shit no how. And motherfucking we have all this shit we say, all this shit we do. Why? Because man, I resonate with this one right here. I resonate with this actress right here. I resonate with this character right here. If I was in a show, that's who I would want to be. That's would be my get down. Why? Because that's me. They're representing people like me. They're representing toxic ass motherfuckers like me. They're representing man haters like me. They're representing women haters. You know what I mean? We got all this stupid shit. Because we're toxic as fuck. And the flip to that, because we live in this fucking council culture, because we live in this fucking woke society that's fucking dumb as fuck and stuck on stupid, we're convinced we're smarter than what we really are. We're convinced that we're more spiritual than what we really are. And anytime somebody challenges our ignorance, anytime somebody challenges us and tells us that we're stuck on stupid, and man, you're low vibrating and our frequency ain't high, and anytime somebody challenges us on that level, we're quick to dismiss them. We're quick to cut them off. We're quick to try to cancel them. Who the fuck he think he is trying to tell me about my shit, trying to tell me about my unresolved issues? I know who the fuck I am. I just don't like motherfucking black men. They are all sorry and lazy and woo-doo-doo. I just don't like white women. They just hoes and traps and da-da-da-da-da. I just don't like Asians. Da-da-da-da-da. I just don't like faggots. They're da-da-da-da-da. I just don't like homosexuals. They're da-da-da-da. We got all this stupid shit. Why? Because we got unresolved fucking issues. Because we're toxic as fuck. And so we blame everybody else. We blame the Republicans. We blame the Democrats. We blame the women. We blame the men. We blame feminists. We blame socialists and communists. We blame everybody but our motherfucking self. Now, we so fucked up. The parents are blaming the teachers because their kids are stupid as fuck. Parents are blaming the teachers because their kids are rude as fuck. Parents are blaming the teachers because their kids can't fucking spell, can't fucking read. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's an old-fashioned thing. But when I grew up, man, we learned our motherfucking ABCs at fucking home. We learned how to read a little bit at home, and it was enhanced in school. They taught us some shit at home. They taught us about respect. Oh, you gonna walk out this mother house with some respect. You might wild the fuck out here, but when you take your ass out in public, you better know how to talk. You better know how to say yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am, yes, sir, and no, sir. You better know how to say please, thank you, or no, thank you. These little badass motherfuckers nowadays, they cuss the motherfuckers out. At school. At home. But we so fucking woke. Oh, we shouldn't be whipping these kids. We should just talk to them. No, some of these little badass motherfuckers, you need to grab them by their motherfucking throat, pick their ass up, and beat the shit out their fucking ass. That's what's wrong with them. I don't give a fuck if you don't like what I'm talking about. It's real. These little badass kids nowadays are off the fucking chain. The teachers are scared of them. The principals are scared. The fucking parents are scared of them. I'll be goddamn if I'm gonna be scared of some motherfucking that I brought into this fucking world. I'm feeding you, I'm clothing you, I'm taking care of you, and you gonna call me stupid? You gonna call me dumb? You gonna call me a son of a bitch, a lazy motherfucking woo-doo-woo, all outside my, oh, hell to the nah. We ain't do, I'm gonna beat your ass and call the fucking cops for you, and then tell them why I beat your motherfucking ass. And it is what it is. Whatever happens, happens, but I'm beating the shit out you. Listen, I know some of you, oh, that's just violence, and violence begins violence, and all this other bullshit you speak. You passive ass motherfuckers is why our country's the way it is now. Why nobody fucking respects cops. Why nobody respects fucking authority. Nobody respects teachers. Nobody respects the rule of the law, or the law, whatever the fuck it is. You know what I mean? We don't expect the laws. And I get it, there's some stupid ass fucking laws. I get that. But if you don't like the laws, change them. But we have to grow the fuck up. We have to grow the fuck up. What's wrong with our society to where, man, motherfucking badass people can become fucking millionaires through TikTok and Instagram and all this YouTube and all this other ratchet ass shit? And people are looking up to them, and man, I want to be like them, and I want to do da-da-da-da because they showing titties, they showing ass, and because they're so fucking disrespectful. And the more ratchet they are, the more publicity they get. The more ratchet they are, the more fan base they have. It's like this fucking toxic ass rap shit. I hate the fucking genre of music called fucking rap. It ain't rap, it's fucking crap. Crap. Anytime you get on there and blasting another motherfucker talking about he ain't shit and talking, tearing down somebody else, you ain't shit. Anytime you get up there talking about your ops and woo, man, you ain't shit. You ain't shit. You want some low vibrating bullshit. I don't give a fuck how many millions you got and how fucking woke you think you are. You ain't nowhere near fucking woke. We have to grow the fuck up. We have, and this fucking music called drill music, where you sitting there talking about your ops, and man, I'm gonna see that motherfucker across the street, I'm about to go put work in, and I got all my fucking guns, and you got your shit on fucking video, and you videotaping your shit, going in, putting on some fucking work. You're dumbass, you're fucking snitching on your fucking self. You're telling the fucking police and the DA every fucking thing they need to know. But you so fucking woke, you so fucking smart. You so fucking enlightened. I know this type of conversation, word, whatever you want to call it, it's not popular. I know my stance isn't popular. I know shit like this will never go fucking viral. Because that's not what the masses want to hear. The masses want to hear how great they are. The masses want to hear, man, how beautiful they are. The masses want to hear how sexy they are. The masses want to hear how to make $1 million. How to get rich, how to win your queen, how to get your king. That's what the masses want to hear because they're stuck on fucking stupid. They're simple, but they're convinced that they're fucking deep. Man. We got to grow up. We have to grow up. Not only do we blame everybody else for who we are, why I am the way that I am, I refuse to do the work. I refuse to sit there and do the shadow work. Go through the dark nights of the soul. What am I talking about? I refuse to go into my subconscious thoughts and understand, man, why do I hate fucking women? Why do I hate fucking men? Why do I hate black people? Why is it that black men scare the fuck out of me? Why do I look at white women and think that all white women are trampy hoes and they want all the black men? What's wrong with me that makes me generalize everybody and put everybody in a fucking category like that? What's wrong with me to make me think that all Hispanic people are fucking lazy? What's wrong with me to think that all homosexuals are a cancer to our country? When in reality, there's a whole lot of fucking preachers are fucking cancers to our fucking community. There's a whole lot of fucking preachers preaching Christianity that's a fucking cancer to our society. But you damn it, the homosexuals to hell, and your ass should be on a first class ticket plane going straight there, busting hell wide open for the bullshit you're spewing. For pushing that divisive hatred shit. We got to grow the fuck up. We have to grow the fuck up. Going back to the dark nights of the soul, going back to doing the shadow work. It is only during that process, that self-reflection, that self-analysis, that I can understand why. Why do I hate myself so much? And then I try to mask my hate with love. And then I'm tearing down everybody else that I think is prettier than me. I'm tearing everybody else down that's bigger, has bigger muscles than me, that has more in life than I do. That I deem as more successful than me. See, I'm tearing them down because I'm low-key jealous. I'm tearing them down because I'm mad I ain't got what they got. Because I want what they have. But I don't know how to get it. I want what they have, but what they have don't want me. And so it's easier for me to sit here and say, man, I don't want nobody. I don't want a relationship. I don't want no man. And I don't want no woman. I don't need no man. And can't no man do shit for me. And I'm more manly than your fucking daddies. And my ex-wife, my late wife, excuse me, bless her soul. She passed away in 2015. She told her sons one day, and her ex-husband, they used to always get into it. And she told them one day in front of me, and they pissed me off and set me on one. And I had to have a real heart-to-heart with her. She told her sons that she was more manly than their daddy was. And that set me off, and I had to grab her. I said, let's go to the room. I said, don't you ever say no stupid-ass bullshit like this again. I know you don't like their daddy. I know they daddy's sorry and lazy as fuck. I know he's a fucking deadbeat, but you'll never be more manly than him. You'll never be more of a man than he is. Don't you ever fix your mouth to tell your sons that you as a woman is more manly and more of a man than their daddy is. I don't give a fuck how sorry he is. You let them figure that shit out on their fucking own. But don't ever think you more of a man than him. You might be more responsible than him. You might be more punctual and accountable than him, but you'll never be more of a man than him. You can't be more of a man than him. And she just looked at me and she started crying. We have to grow up, family. We have to grow up. We have to understand how toxic we are. We have to understand how messed up we are. And you can't see how toxic and messed up you are by comparing yourself to other people. You can only see how toxic you are by going within yourself. I'm going to say it again. You can't see where you're at in your growth and development by comparing yourself to anybody else. You can only see where you're at in your growth and development, in your spiritual maturation, by going within yourself and doing the work. What I mean, understanding your issues, understanding why you think the way you think, understanding why you feel the way you feel, because it ain't about anybody else. Years ago, 95, 96. I was messing around with this young lady and she took my blood pressure. And I didn't realize that my blood pressure was as high as it was. You know what I mean? Because, again, I grew up in the hood, you know what I mean? And man, I was always stressed. I learned to adapt. I learned to handle it. And that's what the great majority of us do. We live up under so much pressure, it becomes the norm for us. We don't know how to live without the pressures of life. Man, I don't know how we're going to pay the rent. I don't know where we're going to get the car money from. I don't know how we're going to get food money. I don't know how we're going to have for Christmas. I don't know how we're going to have Thanksgiving. And we're up under all this pressure and the stress. And we just get on our grind every day and we just sweat it out and work it out. And it all comes true. It all comes through. You know what I mean? But we grinding every fucking day. I hate that phrase, grinding. I'm on my grind. Because when you're on your grind, something's fucking wrong. Because your life ain't supposed to be a fucking grind. It's a grind because you're going against the grain. It's a grind because you're going against the universal law. It's a grind because you're not in alignment with God. And so you're grinding. I know that's not what y'all talking, but that's what grinding means. Anytime something's grinding, man, it's been crushed. Anytime something's grinding, it ain't working properly. It's not reaching its peak, its optimum performance. So I mess around with this young lady. She takes my blood pressure and just playing around. And it's high, real high. And she takes the cuff off and she puts it on again. She takes it and she can't believe how high it is. To me, it doesn't seem high. My blood pressure don't seem high. Because I've always lived up under stress. My whole life was stress. My whole life was just pressure. That's all I knew was pressure. And the trip is, I perform my best when I'm under pressure. I don't study for tests. I don't do any of that. Man, right before the test, the night before, let me look at this shit and man, okay, now I got it. Why? Because the pressure's on me. I gotta perform. My back's against the wall. I ain't got no other option. I'm not gonna fail, so I gotta knock this shit out the park. And so one of the German doctors overhear her. And so he comes. And he takes the blood pressure cuff off and puts it on. He takes my blood pressure. And he looks at me eye to eye. He says, Elijah, what's going on with you? And I'm like, nothing, Doc. I'm cool. You know what I mean? Me and this young lady just sitting here flirting with each other, having a good time, laughing and playing this shit. But now this shit got serious. You know what I mean? It don't got serious real fucking quick. And so he's like, Elijah, something's wrong. What's wrong with you? And it's like, nothing, Doc. I'm good. Man, I feel good. I'm laughing, talking, playing, you know, I'm good. He said, come see me tomorrow morning. Because you're saying you feel good. You're saying you're good, but your body is saying the opposite thing. Your body's saying something totally different. And so now I'm kind of nervous. I'm kind of scared, right? Because I'm a single father raising 2 kids. So I go home and I'm kind of stressed out. I was like, damn, what the fuck is going on? You know what I mean? What the fuck? Man, I feel good, man. I'm finally laughing again. I'm finally able to smile again. You know what I mean? I'm coming out of my shell, and you motherfuckers said something's wrong with me? You know what I mean? Okay, I could have got that. I could have understood that if you took my blood pressure 6 months ago, if you took my blood pressure 4 months ago. Okay, yeah, I could agree with you. I was going through some shit right there. You know what I mean? I was going through some shit. I was going through a major breakup there. I could understand you saying I was wigging out, and man, I wasn't right. You know what I mean? But I'm good now. I'm on the rebound. I'm good now. I'm on the come up. I show up to the doctor's office the next morning. Camilla comes in and she does my blood pressure. And it's still high. And she's like, man, he is still high. I'm like, man, I don't know. Doctor comes in. He grabs the notes. He looks at, sees what the blood pressure she wrote down. He puts the cuffs on me again. He does it himself. Still high. It's like, Elijah, we're going to have to set you up for EKG. We're going to have to do this and that. We're going to do these tests and we're going to do this. And it's all this stuff that he has, right, that we're going to do. Stress management courses, all this shit, right? I'm like, Doc, man, I ain't trying to do all that, man. I'm good. Doc, I'm good. He said, Elijah, you're not good. Your body's saying it's shutting down. Your body's saying you want to die. And so when he said that, it hit me like a brick. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, snap, I'm a single parent. You know what I mean? Man, I can't die. Because if I die, who's going to take care of my babies? If I leave, my babies are here by themselves. Who's going to take care of my babies? I don't give a fuck about me no more. Man, do what the fuck you got to do so that I'll be here for my babies. Keep me alive for my babies. And so the doctor's looking at me. And he says, it's like having cancer. Nobody wants to go through surgery. Nobody wants to go through the procedures of getting the cancer removed from their body. But everybody wants to feel better. But nobody wants to put in the work and go through the procedure of having cancer removed. Nobody wants to go through chemotherapy. Nobody wants to go to radiation. Nobody wants to go through surgery. They just want the cancer to leave their body. I said, that's what stress is. We don't want to do the work. There's something going on in your life, Elijah. And I'm like, Doc, I don't know what it is. I'm good, for real. He's like, no, you're not. And I felt good because I've lived up under stress my whole life. It was normal to me. I'm a single parent taking care of 2 babies. 95, my daughter may have been turning 5 at that time. My son was maybe going on 3 at that time. I'm used to being on my fucking own. I'm used to having that mentality, me against the fucking world. I'm used to not having anybody to rely on and to depend on. I'm used to going without to provide for others. I'm used to not being happy. I'm used to drinking myself to sleep at night. I didn't think that was depression. I didn't think that was anxiety. I didn't think that was anything wrong with that. I thought that was normal. I thought everybody went through that. Because toxicity had become normal. I looked at my family, and my family was in church, but they were toxic as fuck. Miserable as fuck. They taught Jesus, but they were the biggest fucking gossip, backbiting, lying sons of bitches on the planet. You know, I'm just real talk. Always tearing somebody else down. But they're hateful, frustrated, lonely, miserable, but always speaking down on everybody else. I know I didn't want to be like them. I didn't want shit to do with them. And if that's what God was about with them, man, I didn't want shit to do with Christianity because I had a first-hand experience of Christianity and I saw how toxic and how fucked up they were, and I wanted no parts of that. I saw how they were liars and thieves. I wanted no parts of that. But I didn't realize that I was toxic. I didn't realize that my daddy murdering my mom in front of me when I was 2 was having an effect on my life still. I didn't realize my daddy rejecting me as a baby was still having an effect on my life. I didn't realize that my family not wanting me and damning me to hell and telling me that I wasn't shit, I was stupid, I was dumb, I wasn't going to amount to nothing, I was going to end up in the prison for the rest of my life, all this other stupid ass shit that they do. I didn't realize that here in 1995, 1996, I was still carrying the trauma and the baggage from those experiences. I didn't realize that being molested as a 6-year-old kid twice from Christian guys was still having an effect on me. Why? Because I was in the Air Force. Why? Because I was a single father of 2. I got up and went to work, came home and provided for my kids with no help from their raggedy ass mama. So I thought I was doing the right thing. I thought I was good. I didn't realize how toxic I was. I didn't realize because their mama refused to help them. Their mama refused to call them. Their mama refused to send them a Christmas present or a birthday present. or to help buy them shit for school. I didn't think that had an effect on me. I thought I was good still. I thought I was perfectly normal. After all, man, I'm taking care of my kids. I have a job. I'm in the Air Force. I'm a single father. Everything my babies got, I provided for them. They got their own rooms and, man, their beds and all this other shit, all the cartoons they want. I thought I was doing a good fucking job. Because after all, my father wasn't there when I was growing up. My father was in fucking penitentiary playing Rambo games and all this other bullshit he was doing. And so to me, man, I'm everything my father never was. I'm an active participant in my kid's life. But I didn't realize how fucking toxic I was. I didn't realize how fucked up I was. Because I'm doing all the normal shit. I'm doing all the things that a father's supposed to do. I'm here, I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm washing their clothes. There's a time we didn't even have a washing machine yet. And a dryer in our townhouse on the Air Force Base. And so I had to bag their clothes up and we had to grab all the change and go across the street to the laundromat. And so I'm taking my 2 kids with me across the street to the laundromat on Saturday mornings. I'm hanging out with them afterwards, going to the beach and hiking and doing all this other stuff. I'm going with them to church because that's what I thought I was supposed to do. I didn't realize how toxic I was. I didn't realize I'm doing everything right. I didn't realize how fucked up I was. I didn't realize how damaged I was. I didn't realize that. Why? Because I'm comparing myself to my sorry ass fucking daddy. I'm comparing myself to my uncles. I'm comparing myself to other guys. And back then, in the early 90s, you didn't see too many men that were single parents. And I was a single parent of 2. I had to learn how to braid my daughter's hair. I had to learn how to wash and condition her hair. The hard way. Because nobody was around me to teach me that shit. I didn't know that women brush their hair or comb their hair from the end to the scalp. So for me, I'm brushing my daughter's hair like I would brush my son's hair from the scalp. My son, he just had a little fade, you know what I mean? But my daughter, I'm brushing her hair and trying to comb her hair and starting up at the top, and I'm just combing down, and this shit's nappy because she got thick hair. You know what I mean? She got that thick African hair. And I'm trying to comb it, man, she got a headache, and I'm giving her fucking ibuprofen and Tylenol because she's screaming and crying and all this other bullshit. And I'm trying my best not to hurt her, but I didn't know any fucking better. But we have to grow up. We have to grow up. As long as we're sitting there, man, I'm thinking, damn, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Because I'm looking at their mama, and their mama's gone off in another relationship and won't communicate with them at all. And I'm thinking, damn, that broke my heart. Because see, I grew up without my mama. My mama was murdered when I was 2. And so I never wanted my kids to grow up without their daddy and mama, because I didn't have my daddy and mama when I was growing up. So I never wanted my kids to go through that pain. And so now their mama's gone in another marriage. And I'm looking at her. And I'm looking at me. And I'm saying, well, at least I'm here. Fuck that B. You know what I mean? I'm just being real. I was hurt because the marriage didn't last. I was hurt because she wouldn't act right. I was hurt because she allowed my crazy, toxic ass fucking sister to fuck up our relationship and to sow some negativity into her fucking head. There's a whole lot of toxic motherfuckers out there. And so I'm looking around at people around me. And I'm comparing myself to everybody else. And I'm thinking I'm okay. I'm good. You can't tell me shit. I'm raising my motherfucking kids. I'm doing what the fuck I'm supposed to do. I see all these single moms, but I don't see no single dads out there. And let the truth be told, there's times I felt like giving them up. There was times I wanted to give my babies up. I wanted to put my babies in the system because I didn't feel like I could take it anymore. I felt like such a fucking failure. I felt like they deserved better than what I was able to provide for them. I went from 235 pounds of muscle, less than 8% body fat, less than 150 pounds in one summer. In one summer, I lost almost 100 fucking pounds because I wasn't eating. Because I was stressed the fuck out. Because I was poor as fuck. I looked like a sucked up Ethiopian. And back then they had the Ethiopians on TV and they're always talking about the poverty and the drought that was going on in Ethiopia. And they show all these little kids and all these malnourished people in Ethiopia. And my clothes was sagging. And this was before sagging became fucking cool. And it wasn't that I was sagging on purpose. I just lost so much fucking weight. And I didn't even have the money to go get some new uniforms. I didn't even have the money to eat. Because the portion that I should have been eating, I was saving that for my kids so they could have that as leftovers for the next night. Toxicity. The new normal. I didn't realize how toxic I was. I didn't realize how fucked up emotionally I was. I didn't realize how much I hated women. I hated my mom for dying. Like it was her fault. She had no choice. It wasn't her fault. But I hated her because I felt she abandoned me. And the trip is, man, I started looking around. And when I started really doing the soul, dark nights of the soul work, I started really doing the shadow work, I started understanding, damn, I looked at every woman as fucking abandoning me. And that all went back to my mama dying when I was 2 and leaving me alone to fend for myself. And the trip, all the women that's walked out of my life, I saw them as sorry ass bitches for abandoning me. because they triggered that inner broken kid whose mama died right in front of him. And he felt abandoned and left alone. And so every time one of these young women that I was dating or I fell in love with, every time one of them left me, I felt like my mama had left me all over again. I felt as though my mama had kicked me to the curb all over again. In the trip, I would do things to try to prove to these women that I'm a good guy. I'm trying to prove to these women that, man, I'm a loving, caring, compassionate guy. I'm a good guy. Just love me. Just don't ever leave me. Why? Because I had abandonment issues. Because I had codependency issues. Because I never resolved the fact that my mama died and left me alone. My mama died and I felt abandoned. My mama died and I felt unwanted. And so every girlfriend I had, every young lady I got in a relationship, left me and made me feel like that little boy all over again. Because I never dealt with that issue. And so many of us, we go through relationships after relationships, and we keep getting treated the same way. Why? Because Source God, the Most High, is trying to get us to understand some shit. Man, it's time out for the bullshit. It's time out. You have to grow up emotionally. You keep going through the same shit, different day. Same shit, different guy. Same shit, different relationship. Why? Because there's some shit you haven't resolved yet. And until you resolve it, you'll never move beyond it. And I never understood why my relationships kept ending the same way. I blamed the fucking women. Fucking tramp ass bitches and no good motherfuckers, ungrateful. I had all these things to say about them. But the truth was, I hadn't dealt with my issues. The truth is, I was toxic as fuck because I hadn't dealt with my issues. And every time they left, that was God, Source, the Most High, giving me another opportunity to deal with my issues. But I didn't see it as that because I was toxic as fuck. So I got to the point, women ain't shit. Fuck these bitches. Man, women cared more about me when I didn't give a fuck about them. When you start showing a woman that you care about her, that you love her, man, everything fucking changed. The whole game changes. Now she feel like she's in control. Now she want to change up on some shit. And now she want to treat you like you ain't shit. Now she want to break your fucking heart and dog you the fuck up. But before you start showing her that nice side, that good side, man, she's all in love with you. She's all kind and da-da-da-da. Always Johnny on the spot. Nurturing and loving. But then when you show her this side of you, man, she flipped the script. So I started, man, maybe I shouldn't show bitches my fucking feel. And I'm not calling women bitches now. But that was my mentality back then. That was my thought process back then. Because I was fucking hurt. And so I blamed the women for hurting me. I blamed my mama for dying. I blame my mama. Because if my mama hadn't died, then I would have never been with my raggedy ass aunts. And I would have never been in that raggedy ass fucking Christian church. And I would have never got fucking molested. And so it was my mama's fault that I got molested. I hated my mom. I hated my mom. As a kid, you know, in elementary school, I don't know if they still do it, but back then they would make Mother's Day gifts and make these little trinkets and all these things. I never did that shit. Never. I hated Mother's Day. I hated fucking women. I remember telling my aunt as a little kid, a woman can't tell me nothing. And my aunt beat my ass. And I kept that fucking attitude. I don't care. You can whip me all you, but a woman can't tell me nothing. I'm going to do what I want to do. Because I hated my mama. And see, here's the trip. They kept telling me, man, we need to pray. You got the devil in you, and we're going to bring you up for prayer, and you got the all the stupid shit. But they never got me counseling. They never took me somewhere to where I could pour out my heart and somebody could give me some fucking emotional help. See, all they did was talk Jesus, but nobody was there to try to help me understand why I was so fucking angry, why I was so fucking distrusting, why I hated fucking women. And all the teachers I had in elementary school were women. All of them, women. Fuck these bitches. I was in elementary school, cutting school, ditching classes. I didn't give a fuck. That was normal for me. That was normal. Smoking and drinking. Why? Because we were hurt. And nobody around us knew how to help us. Because the truth be told, they had their own fucked up issues. But they so busy trying to be perfect. They so busy trying to be saved and sanctified, Holy Ghost filled, water baptized, running for the Lord. They won't be honest with themselves and say, man, I'm fucked up too. Man, I got some issues too. Man, I'm hurt too. Man, I got man issues too. And most of the women in the church hated fucking men. Most of the guys in church, if they were there, they hated women in authority too. Or they were fucking hoes in the church. So everybody had issues, but everybody walking around like they got their shit together. And nobody's talking to the young people and trying to help us deal with our fucking pain and suffering. They're not even acknowledging the fact that we went through the hell that we went through. Oh, because you came to the church and you came before the altar and the bishop laid hands on you and the pastor laid hands on you. You should be good. Oh, because you're in church 7 days a week and you're a choir and you're in this and you're in this. And you should be saved and sanctified. You should be an example of the Lord and you should be a role model in your school. I was fucked up in school. I was hated in school. I was feared in school. Why? Because I had no problems throwing my fucking hands. I had no problems kicking you in your fucking throat. Keep saying that is disconnecting for some reason. I don't know if we're still on or not. Okay, yeah, we're on. But for whatever reason, they don't want us talking about this. You know, it's already disconnected twice, but... And so, man, I can't fuck with him. I'm going to leave him alone. I'm going to leave him alone. Why? Because you know he ain't rap tight. You know he's special. The only thing that I could say real positive about my family growing up was because they believed in Jesus and everything was Jesus. They didn't allow them school people to put me on fucking medication. because they wanted to put me on some fucking medication. But my aunt and them said, no. No. We're going to take it to the Lord, and God's going to fix him. God's going to make him better, and da-da-da-da-da. And I was fucked up. You know what I mean? I was fucked up. But that had become normal for me. It becomes normal for us not to talk about our mental health issues. It's become normal for us not to talk about being molested in our families. That's the taboo secret, you know. And it's like as though the family's team. I don't give a fuck about you. I know your cousin molested you, but you ain't gonna say shit because he's gonna go to jail. He's gonna go to prison. He's gonna go to juvenile hall, and we don't want him going to jail. We don't want him getting arrested. So you just deal with your bullshit, but you better not say shit about him. And what that tells you is, man, they care more about the fucking predator. They care more about the rapist. They care more about the sexual molesters than they cared about you. You were the victim of these people's issues. And then your family turns around and victimizes you again by telling you you ain't shit. You better not say nothing about this. What's done in the house stays in the house. You don't talk about family business. But here's the trick. We don't talk about family business. But you grown-ass motherfuckers sit here on the phone for hours at a time gossiping about everybody's fucking business. You can run everybody's shit down in the fucking dirt, but I can't talk about these motherfuckers who's preying on me. I can't talk about this motherfucker who's molested me, but you can sit here and talk about the pastor, his wife, his sorry ass kids, the deacon, the mother of the church. You can talk about everybody else. But don't nobody want to talk about my shit. Don't nobody want to help me with my shit. We're toxic as fuck. It's no wonder we grew up and we learned how to hate ourselves. The truth is, we say we love ourselves. Man, I was walking around, man, I thought I was the shit. I thought I looked good. Couldn't tell me shit. I thought I was God's gift to women. I thought I was fly as fuck. But I was fucked up. I was fucked up emotionally. I was fucked up. And the trick, I had to learn to unlearn all the shit I learned as a kid. I'm gonna say it again. We have to unlearn the shit that we learned as a fucking kid. All the self-hate. Putting everybody above ourselves. The lack of boundaries. All the crazy shit that we learned as kids that made us feel insignificant, made us feel unloved, unwanted, unvalued. Made us feel like we were voiceless, because kids back then, we couldn't talk. We could be seen, but not heard. And that was a saying back then, a child's place to be seen, but not heard. Keep your motherfucking mouth shut. So we couldn't talk about the shit that fucked us up. And we wonder why, damn, I feel like nobody listens to me. Damn, I feel like nobody cares about what I say. Damn, nobody cares about my opinion. Because of the bullshit we've gone through. And now we're grown. And the truth is, most of us have never learned how to unlearn and let go of all of that bullshit we've been carrying subconsciously for years. So toxicity becomes the new normal. We're toxic as fuck and don't even know it. We're hateful as fuck and don't even know it. We hate ourselves and can't even see it. Man, we have to grow up. We have to grow up emotionally. We have to do the work. Doing the work, whether you call it shadow work, or do you call it going through the dark nights of the soul, whatever you want to call it, where you have your tower moment, where you have your hangman moment, whatever you want to call it, we have to learn how to deal with our issues. We have to learn how to release all of the shit that we've gone through in the past. And understand how all of those things have affected us and made us who we are today. You didn't just come like this overnight. You didn't become who you are overnight. It took decades for you to become the person that you are today. Decades of the brainwashing, decades of the abuse, of the neglect, of the abandonment, of the hatred. It took decades for you to become the person you are today. So don't ever think that you're going to have this epiphany, you're going to have this woke moment, and you're going to change everything overnight. That's not how life works. You're setting yourself up for failure. You're setting yourself up for a major disappointment if you think, man, okay, now that I'm 26, I'm going to change my life and I'm going to get rid of all the self-hatred, get rid of all the abandonment issues, all the other issues that I got going on, the codependency and all this. I'm gonna get rid of everything and I'm gonna wash myself clean. And I'm gonna be a fresh person, a new person. 2023 is gonna be brand new for me, and is gonna be my year. I'm gonna arrive and okay, slow up. It took you decades to get the way that you are. I'm not saying it's gonna take you decades to change that. I'm not saying that at all. It don't take decades to change. But understand it's a life process. It's a journey. You didn't become the way that you are overnight, all at once. It was piece by piece, step by step. And you're going to resolve this stuff piece by piece, step by step. And the trip is, so often we think, when I do readings, tarot readings and stuff like that, oracle readings, people want to know the answer for this thing right here. And God is saying, no. This is what you think is important. But this is not what's really important. It's important to you because you're on some bullshit right now. What's important to me for you is to deal with this issue right here. Acknowledge this shit right here. Acknowledge this right here. And if you acknowledge this right here, it'll trickle down and it'll change all these other things. But see, you want to address this issue. It's like having a cold and your nose is running. And you think that, man, okay, if I stop my nose from running, then the cold goes away. That's not how that works. The cold is just, the running nose is just a symptom of a cold. The coughing is just a symptom of a respiratory problem of a cold. If I deal with the cold, the respiratory issue, the cause of the symptoms, then the symptoms will go away. So we have to take a real long look at ourselves. Okay, God. Okay, Source. What do I need to work on right here, right now? What's the most pressing thing in my life that has me the most fucked up? Okay, I'll deal with this right here. And then after you deal with that, God normally gives us a reprieve where we can relax. Because man, it's gonna be a tower moment. It's gonna flip your world upside down. You're gonna be emotional, you're gonna be crying and snotting and lonely and suicidal and depressed and hateful. You're gonna have all these emotions going through your head while you're dealing with your shit. Accept that, understand that, embrace that. That's all part of the healing process. You're gonna have all kinds of shit being regurgitated, all kind of feelings and emotions coming to the surface, man, bubbling over, man, like a volcano about to explode. Man, accept that, embrace that. That's all part of the process. It's all part of the process. It's all part of the healing process. You're good. You're good. I promise you. You're good. You need those things to happen. So if you're walking and you just start crying, man, give yourself a hug. You needed that. You needed to release that energy, that toxic energy that's been pent up for all these years. If you're walking somewhere and you just find yourself busting up laughing for no fucking reason, man, embrace that. You needed that. That's part of the healing process. It's a release of stagnant energy. And so we go through this process of, man, our emotions just all over the place. And then we find our balance. Then we find our peace, our equilibrium. And we're like, man, that was fucking exhausting. Man, that was fucking tiring. That was draining. I was like, I went through fucking World War III all by my fucking self. You know what I mean? Like I went to war with the fucking zombies. And we'll be able to relax for a minute. And then God sure said, okay, it's time to go back at it. Boom. It's time to deal with this. And be like, oh shit, I wasn't expecting, I wasn't prepared for that. But now I got to deal with this. And then you go through that whole process all over again. The crying, the mad, the anger, the frustration, the suicide, all that. You go through those emotions all over again. That's part of the healing. That's part of the releasing. Accept it for what it is. Embrace it for what it is. All right. Whew. That was a great release. Man, God, I didn't think I was really that fucked up. And God is smiling. Yeah, I got you, baby girl. I got you. And you're thinking, man, I'm good now. I'm great now. Man, now it's time for my king. Now it's time for my queen. Now it's time for my wealth. And God is like, yeah, not yet. You know what I mean? Not yet. No. Now I want you to tackle this issue right here. And you're like, what the fuck, God? What? You got to tackle this issue right here. Why? Because we don't realize how toxic we are. We don't realize how fucked up we've become. And so we go through this process of purging, of cleansing, dealing with our emotions, resolving our issues. That's how we become better. That's how we become lighter. That's how we become more at peace with ourselves. That's how we become more loving of ourselves, more loving of others. You have to go through the process. And it's uncomfortable as fuck. I get it. I've been there. I'm still there. I'm still there. It's a process. There's levels to this. There's levels to this. And we have to understand, it's never, and I say this all the time, it's never about the other people. It's never about the people that's hurt you. It's never about the people that have dogged you out. I don't care how they've hurt you. I don't care how they abused you or whatever they've done to you. It's never about you and them. It's always about you and you. It's always about you and God. You and God. You loving you. You liking you. You respecting you. You valuing your own life. You being grateful for who you are and where you are. You being proud of yourself and the accomplishments you've made in life. You may not have all the money. You may not have all the great cars and great material things, but you have to work. You've done so much work. So you can pat yourself on the back. Stop being so hard on yourself. Stop judging and condemning yourself because you don't have all this material shit that everybody else have. And I tell people all the time, man, I would take my peace of mind, my joy, my happiness over all of their wealth, over all of their material shit. I'm so glad that I've gone this journey. I'm so ecstatic that I've had to go this route. Because I have a peace that most people can't comprehend. I have a joy and happiness that most people can't comprehend. And it has nothing to do with what I have physically. And everything to do with what I've done emotionally and spiritually. Because that's what life is about. It's not about the material stuff. That's superficial. That's a distraction to keep you from working on your emotional stuff. Because we get so busy and so tired, so exhausted from chasing the bag and working to where now I don't have the time or the energy to deal with my issues. I just want to go to sleep. I just want to go to bed. I'm just tired. I'm exhausted because I got to get up and punch the clock again tomorrow. And so we do this day after day, night after night, week after week, month after month, year after year. And we never grow up emotionally. We never grow up spiritually because we never put the time in. Because we're so busy with chasing the bag. We're so busy with trying to get material shit. And then when we're so tired from doing the material shit, man, let me just relax. Let me just let my hair down. Let me go get drunk with the girls tonight. Let me go turn up with the guys tonight. Man, let me just go, you know what I mean? I just want to veg. I just want to veg out for a weekend. I don't want to do shit. Don't want to think about shit. And we never grow the fuck up. We never deal with our shits. And we always stay at that toxic ass fucking level. Don't get distracted. Stop being distracted. Your emotional stability should be your number one fucking priority. I'm gonna say that again. Your emotional stability. And I'm not talking about just surviving like we survived as toxic as motherfuckers in the past. I'm not talking about just going through that survival mode like we lived in for so long. I'm talking about dealing with our shit, understanding our shit, outgrowing those toxic beliefs, and letting them go. Doing that stuff has to become your number one priority in life. Man. I hope and pray that I said something that's blessed you, that's encouraged you. Again, we'll be doing mentoring and coaching sessions free of charge for the rest of this month. I don't know if we'll continue that in February or not. If you would like a coaching session, a mentoring session, you're depressed, suicidal, or whatever the case of that nature, man, just shoot me an email at ElijahAmmi@gmail.com. And again, for the guys, we will have our home, Healing Our Men Emotionally. We'll have that session at Saturday at 3:30. If you haven't gotten the link, shoot me an email and I'll send you the link. It's the same link every week. Again, that's 3:30 Eastern Standard Time. My beautiful queen and I, we love you guys. We appreciate you being part of this tribe. We appreciate you being part of the family. We thank you for your respect, your hospitality, your positive and beautiful energy. Namaste. The God in us sees, recognizes, acknowledges, and cherishes the God in each and every one of you. Happy healing. Peace.